Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Beaver Dam Lake Protection and Rehabilitation District Board meeting. Today's date is May 13th, 2026. We are at 7:04 p.m. and this should be a pretty succinct agenda tonight. Doesn't seem to be too deep. We have one person in attendance. Ms. Virginia Scott is here, county legislator. Can we start tonight's meeting with the pledge? Trying to do things in different order. Feel like I always say the same thing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Tonight's meeting is an open meeting in accordance with New York State Public Open Meeting Law. We are live on Zoom from Reserve 4 at the Beaver Dam Community Building at 557 Shore Drive, New Windsor. This meeting is being recorded as always, and we'll post it on our Orange County Government and Orange County Government DPW website and through the BDL YouTube account. Roll call. We have a quorum tonight. Of course, I'm Christopher Dunn, the chair from New Windsor. I'm on my third year of my 3-year term.
Hello, I'm Larry Weinberg, Vice Chair, second year of number 3.
Jason Eunice, Secretary, first year of 3.
Sean Skonberg, New Windsor, second year of 3.
Yeah, because you're 2 years.
Yeah.
Fred?
Fred Widman, from Cornwall. I don't know how I guess this is the third year of 3 or
Yes.
nominated. Or...
Yeah, so Fred is an appointee
Anointed or appointed?
after serving 3 terms. So
Many terms.
Fred has been here for, he's experienced.
And I'm Sparkle Bassick, and it's year 3 of 3.
Because it's, so Sparkle was picking up the final year of the Blooming Grove 3-year term. So that would just, this is kind of like, as Erica used to tell me, it's a try before you buy it. And at the end of this year, she has the option to run again for a 3-year term. So yes, some more months to think about that. Did everybody get a chance to get our agenda tonight?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda.
Please, thank you. And
Second.
second. All in favor?
Bye.
All right.
All right, motion's been adopted. All right, the last board meeting was April 8th. BDLboard@gmail.com is the best way to reach us, of course. Please use 911 for all emergencies. We say this beginning of every meeting. Something to revisit from last meeting. The non-residents are not permitted. Anybody that used these meetings knows that. If you're not viewing the meeting, obviously it's not being communicated to you. Now, the signage on the reserves tells you that this signage has been around for a while. It's very, in my opinion, I grew up in Rockland County. It's very Harriman State Parkish. It's like green and white, right?
Yeah.
It's and you see it and you don't see it because it blends in. I think it was meant to be non-intrusive.
Yeah.
It was meant to not be crazy flashy. It glows. It's DOT certified. It's bulletproof. It's been around for I don't know. I mean, before any
And
of
it's
us.
totally ignored.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point. Now,
Very wordy.
yes, and so, but now there are add-on signs. One of them is there's PFAS potentially in the lake. Please don't eat the fish. Catch and release. And then I'm getting more reports recently of fishermen taking fish home. Now,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, are they eating them? Are they chumming them? Are they bringing them down to the river and using them as bunker? I don't know. I hope they're not eating them. The signs, there's 2 signs on every reserve. Rick has seen people put them in buckets and leave. I don't think we have a shortage of fish. The fishery has not been studied in a couple years. That's something that was on the table to do. They come and shock the lake and they count all the fish, but we have to pay for that. I don't know if we need that. I have not had complaints, heard anybody complain that they go out and not find fish, despite the fact that we had so many pass away after the winter.
Yeah.
So the fish that we have, I really hope they're not a food source for people. I would think anybody living here is not eating them. So that brings us to the point that those who are taking them, I would assume, are not living here. So once again, anybody who's viewing this, please know that the plan, once we get the paving done, the fences will be aligned, the gates will go in. And then we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see who tries to get in and all that. And also know that the police forces of New Windsor and Cornwall were very much on board with us getting gates, and then they could help enforce the private label of this community, even though we don't have fences keeping people out. And we don't pay for a security force, and we all know this, everyone at this table knows this. So it's always funny to me, and I've been living here now, I've been in New Windsor for 20-something years, and I've been in this community for about 12. And there's people have wanted a sign that said, "Welcome to Beaver Dam, a private community," but it isn't, it's more of the lake is supposed to be protected in that way, but we don't keep people, it's not a gated community. So I was always curious if we ever did want to revisit some sort of a proper sign, and if we can get someone to say, yes, sure, you can put it on my lawn, because it's gonna have to be like on one of the like shore entrance, or just, I want everyone to think about that. I don't know, just something that maybe come back at another meeting and
It'd be
And bring
good
it
for
up.
your real estate values.
Yeah, it helps to have that,
to be able to,
entry
Plan that?
point. And then you
Look at
just-
Tuxedo Park.
yeah.
well, that's Tuxedo Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
coming. Tell
Yeah.
them to watch out. We're on our way.
Accredited police.
That's
force,
gated.
so
Yeah,
Huh?
They have an accredited.
historically significant as well.
We have enough police forces between Cornwall, New Windsor and Blooming Grove that we could feel amply protected, I
Get the
think.
Cumberland on board.
All right, we're going.
We need
off.
stewards on the other side to have competition, and then, maybe they'll,
Weird.
yeah. All right, so that was just something I wanted to bring up early, and right, because we all speak at the end of some things maybe on our mind, and I just wanted as a chair just to kind of bring that up at the beginning. So anyway, as we say this all the time, all residents must be accompanied by, all guests must be accompanied by a resident. Attempting to transfer a registration sticker will result in the loss of your parking or boating privileges at the reserves. Violators will be issued a summons by the police with subsequent fines. Gas-powered motors are not permitted on BDL at any time. Exceptions are made for EMS, fire, and police, of course. All anglers 16 and older must possess a valid New York State fishing license. Let's see, oh yeah, I meant to mention in here that we have the link. Jason put it in a long time ago. It's embedded in our emails. There's a link to getting a license, right?
It's fishing license.
Yeah, fishing license. So if anybody wants to know where to find that, we can always see it in the tag signature of our emails. Technically, all reserves are closed for use 1 hour after sunset. From my backyard, I see Reserve 8 like all day long. That's maybe a problem. I can count on one hand during the year. There were people staying very late, and then if there is a complaint of noise, then usually police do come. But outside of high school kids playing on the field, they may play until it's dark, 9 o'clock, which is obviously past this time. But if no one's complaining, I have not seen an issue. I approached some youth playing wiffle ball on this property 2 weeks ago, and I was kind of like, wow, it's kind of like, and they were very respectful. They said, we'll leave. I said, you guys know that there's cameras all over this, and we will see who you are and all that. And they said, we'll leave. And I said, you guys are playing wiffle ball. Why don't you use a chair as the strike zone and not the door? So that was the point. They were using the door. And I kind of went, guys, this is an Orange County government building.
I used to do stick bullets, 22, having the wall as.
Well, and you bring a can of spray paint and make it back, right? Like that, this is not the facing it. And they were the best. They were very nice. And they said, we won't come back. And I said, they knew who I was and all that. And so I feel like anyone who's a resident and any parent around here is going to talk up their kids and tell them what you should do around here. It's the way it should work in the community.
Chestnut Park too, doesn't it have a big like baseball fence?
It does.
Yeah, I mean,
I know you could probably snap an ankle more over there, but.
yeah, wiffle ball is more of a street game. You could do 1 versus 1, and it's the PE teacher talking here. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, and I think that's the nice thing about our community, right? Is that we have those little idiosyncrasies, and I wish there was more of it. I mean, my job every day is with youth, and I want them to. So that's why it is nice that we have had attention on the park, and I see more children actually riding bicycles, which is pretty I like that too.
I looked down the street the other day, I went down Hickory just to check on
have they taken
the
trees down?
progress, yes.
Oh,
So,
cool.
they have started with the tree work inside of Chestnut Avenue Park, through the Hickory entrance. So I don't believe they're gonna be changing the parking spaces over there and removing the no parking signs, but they do plan on making access directly into that park area, and they've removed about 5 large trees. It's not cleared yet, but that was
Great.
the original start, and Town Supervisor Bedetti had said that he had some nice future plans that he hoped to put in place for that park.
Cool. Also kind of reiterating 26 improvements to the reserves. We've discussed, I think now 3 meetings in a row, the trees for Tribs. So the event will be on March 31st on Reserve 8. That's at 10 a.m.
May 30th.
May.
Yeah, I said May. You're in March. You're right. May 31st. So coming up. Jason, if you want to.
Yeah, we're up to almost 20 volunteers. DEC is bringing 10 shovels, so people can, even if people are unable to dig, if you could volunteer some equipment like shovels, picks, pry bars, post hole digger.
Yeah.
It would be appreciated.
There may be some big San Angelo bars, those big giant, because there's going to be field
Pry
stones.
bars.
Yeah, field stones and really big things in there. I've done some digging around here, and it's amazing what you pull out. Reserve boat storage. Boats have been found chained to racks while laying on the ground. We've been talking about that for a while. We've been trying to clean up the reserves. That's a no-no. It's against the Orange County law. Everything needs to be on a rack. So we're gonna really start changing the signage. There's probably some folks that don't even know what we're speaking of right now because they don't attend the meetings or they don't read the emails, or they may not be on the email list.
Or they might not
But-
have a boat.
Sure, but there's a lot of boats that have been left where we always have to find to see if it's from a resident that dumped it 10 years ago or moved away. And then there's been paddles and flotation devices that just get left. They may have used it in August and it sits there all winter blowing around, and then the weed trimmer hits it. And so we've just been trying to make it prettier and make it more accessible to our landscaper. So that was one of the reasons why years ago we wanted to build boat racks, get everything off the ground. So like for instance, Rick was able to go in just a couple weeks ago, blow the leaves out, and then corresponded with Andrew Magnano, who came the very next day, mulched up the leaves, took it away. Now Reserve 3 is leaf free. And I think they've done the same thing at 2. So 2 and 3 have been the focus of the board. 2 more boat racks have been built at Reserve 3. So an email went out to residents on May 6th, highlighting the need for any boats that are currently on the ground that are on the west side of the reserve to please remove your boat or place it on the rack. Some residents have done so. I did not put it in this agenda, but I think we all agreed on June 1st was a date, right? Am I correct? June 1st was a date that we were really going to start enforcing. So
Until the end of the month.
I want to say definitely the board will put out an email by next week. Definitely re-announcing this. We're gonna have to put signs on the reserve saying at this date, boats that are left are subject to registration check. And if they're chained to that fence, which is kind of ridiculous, there's giant chains connected to a welded wire fence that we don't know if is ours or not, the county's, because there's now a house being built alongside of 3. I mentioned that at last meeting. I'm kind of interested on the survey to find out if that's a county fence or if that's a private fence. But there's about a dozen boats that are all chained for they could use a shoelace. It would make more sense. Someone even used a fire hose. So there was a fire hose tying one of the boats to it, and you could easily just go there in a couple of minutes and just pull it all out. So what we're saying is they're going to get clipped. They'll probably get clipped by our DPW worker. Board members can do it too. And the boats will be put up on the racks if we have a proper registration for you. If you have a need of help, please reach out to us. We have been Fred, Jason, I think Larry at times, we've all eventually will be doing this probably at some point when a sticker number comes up, we'll ask the board to go check it. And I've been sending pictures out to the board. Rick sent pictures out to me. just to go look up the status of what's up with this boat. We're also trying to really, and this is me, I'm gonna say this is me, but we've discussed this. Pedal boats are a nuisance. They collect mosquito water. They have tadpoles in them. They're almost never used.
I believe the language that we wrote, you need a cover on.
But somebody was wise and bought a tarp, which fills up with water.
Which sinks into the hole and it fills up.
Which is, so it's an erroneous thing. So we had a bigger fish to fry, so to speak, with all the other boats. And now I think once this is done, maybe we'll focus at some point on the, I don't know how many pedal boats are on the lake. Maybe if there's 7 or 8. Six seems to be a dumping ground. There's things there that Rick thinks are abandoned. The one on 3 was full of water. I personally, while I was building the rack, kept standing it up and the ballast was all full of water. So I did them a favor and let it drain out. But they're so heavy and people use them once every couple of years and they just sit and take up space. So that needs to be something to do. And again, we're not trying to control everybody's good time here. It's just that we're really trying to get it in an order and make it.
If you want it stored there, it's for everybody. You
Yeah.
need to take care of it.
Yeah.
Get a proper cover so water can't go in
Yeah,
it.
I mean, we don't have a size restriction on the boat. I mean, they're on boats and there's a boat there that takes up the space of 3. I mean, it's a huge rowboat. You could put 7 people in it, you know, so, those are some future things just to think about. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to start the meeting a little different in a way. So we're really focused on that. Signage will go out in front saying, please, by this date, this needs to be taken care of, or the boat will be removed. Go ahead.
I just have a question, but I can wait.
It's about this, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just, like for me, as I'm trying to pick up on different things, and especially something like the boats where I don't really use that accommodation.
Yeah.
Is there like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the rules about the boats? Like real, just like, you
Yes,
don't have to be smart, you just,
it's
it's right there.
yes, that
Okay.
so we finalized the RPP, the resident permit program last spring, it's a summer.
Yeah.
And it's published on the website. There's a link.
I think there's a link.
There's a link in the emails. So that's like, yeah, the signature. So Jason has continued to add these links that
A lot of things.
so to answer you, yes, it's so we've given the avenue for people to find it on the website. We've had a few meetings about it. There are some emails. We're gonna mention some of it again tonight. It's in here. So yes, the hope would be if we get up actual signs that we've been
Put it up,
discussing,
put the-
we will have hard copies of these things like behind plexiglass that as you walk by, you'll just know it. Like a trailhead like thing we've been saying. You have more?
It's just one thing, and that is rather than put a sign behind plexiglass,
Mhm.
if you get the metal signs, they cost not that much different and
Oh,
they
sure.
last forever.
Sure, the idea of the idea of having this sign is more of a like on a walkable route thing. Because, you know, we have signs that explain things to people. I mean, the signs right now, I believe, do say there are some boat restrictions on them that are still, I can't recall, because like I said,
Yeah.
you know, these signs are, they're aging. But, hello, Maureen. So with that, there are currently 3 16-foot long boat racks on Reserve 3, and then one more is being built, will be able to be built shortly. That kind of puts capacity at about 15 to 20 boats. The one other thing I'd like to mention is that if a boat is really small and you can carry it to the reserves, please don't leave it there. If it's like a suitcase, don't leave it there. Yeah, because there are these, you know, they're inexpensive stand-up paddle boards that have just been there since last summer. And I don't know if someone bought them inexpensively for a party and then left them, and they're on most of the reserves. And they're not on racks. They could disappear and no one would know. It's amazing that nobody has taken them. So kudos to the community for not.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say. we
yeah,
did
but-
living arts.
So again,
If there's a few of them, could we modify some of the racks to be a little more vertical so they take up less space?
do we want to invite more of these?
Is it
Because my
people-
point is, if you could carry it there, you could carry it out like your trash. Like, I think we're very accommodating. And if it's something you could just carry, why leave it there? You know, that's, I hear you. but maybe let's get to that when we get all the other boat racks done. I don't know, you know, so just food for thought. All right, and the fence we said is gonna be going up soon. Rick took it down about 6 weeks ago. We've just been waiting for the time to pull the poles out and reset the poles and put it all up. So once the fence is done at Reserve 4, then the gate will go up. Beach update.
One other thing.
Go ahead.
On Reserve 2, we took down a dead tree,
Oh, yeah.
and the big tree in the center had some questionable branches also removed.
Yeah,
Thanks to
saw them do
DPW.
that, yeah.
So the
That's it.
DPW did us a solid and took care of that one in the same day.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. Beach update, we're requesting volunteer help to recover lost and drifted buoys from the swim beach. I think someone helped us out.
There's two.
There's two that showed up. Yeah, there's two that kind of showed up. They were, yeah, someone must have been boating and I don't, it could have been,
Oh.
is Wally?
Look at the weather.
There's been,
Well-
somebody's been out for 2 or 3 times with a pontoon boat,
Oh,
and
great.
there's also
That's what I was
a
hoping.
couple of kids in a canoe that have been
Okay.
out all the time.
Okay, I mean, that's what I was hoping. We mentioned it in the email a couple, was it a week or two ago? I don't even remember now. So hopefully someone just decided to help us, because at some point we're gonna have to recover those, and that is the anchor system or part of the anchor system for our beach and swim ropes. Swim ropes will begin to be assembled sooner this year in hopes that we may soon open after Memorial Day, weather permitting, and it would be more of a weekend thing. The lifeguards are ready to go. I think 3 of them are home already. Their certs are good. We're actually in the process of getting additional lifeguards for the late season because fortunately for these young people, unfortunate for us, they're all going to be going to college in the middle of August. So we're going to be shorthanded amazingly. So, but it's giving us time to try to get one, maybe like a high school lifeguard, and there are 2 families that we're in contact with at the moment, or we're trying to get
Don't
one of
we
them
have to
hired.
get a yearly certification from the Department of Health, so we can open the beach?
Yeah, and that's coming. So yeah, the next thing, so as mentioned in the last meeting, the workers' comp form was requested from the DPW. Once we have that, we have a copy of that here. We go through the binders and the emergency plan. We go through all the medical kits, make sure we have all that, all the Band-Aids and such, and the rescue devices, and we're not required to have an AED, but we do. I think the battery lasts, I don't know if that might be getting on. The battery is expensive, so that might be something for the budget. Yeah, so we'll talk about the budget in a little bit.
Yeah, so as far as you're talking about the lifeguards, yeah, we have a returning crew of experienced lifeguards who really done an excellent job here. And every year that they're here again and repeat, they're even better at what they do, even more experienced and refined. And the word has gotten out that this is a pretty sweet gig.
Yeah.
And because of that, we're getting a lot of traction on interest for lifeguard openings. And while we're very pleased to have these folks come back as repeat guards because they're doing a great job, it's really also pleasing to know that, you know, being in our community is highly desirable and that people are looking to invest their time and energy. The lifeguard gig here is a really nice gig. I'm not saying I could be the lifeguard, but you know, we did vote and we did an increase in the salaries when they come and they do a great job here. But again, it's a good opportunity for people to get ingrained in their communities. So Chris has been looking at a few backups and additional people just for some bench strength. So we'll be able to remain open after college season starts back up. And I just wanted to share that with you because a number of us are getting inquiries regarding openings for these lifeguard positions where only 4 years ago, we were struggling to get anybody.
Right.
So that's a good testament to how things are going in a positive direction, at least in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Larry. And then also that's another reason that speaks to why we bumped the salary a little bit this year. We did not bump it up. We decided to, allow it to be frozen last year. Because all of these young people, there's a good chance they all 4, at least 3 of them could just disappear at once as they go into the real world. And then we would really be hurting but they all potentially could decide to leave at once. All 5 could disappear. So we do need to kind of keep it, the pump primed to continue bringing in good quality lifeguards, not just lifeguards, but the best quality lifeguards. 2027 budget update. The board will soon announce when the annual budget meeting will be held. DPW usually requires that we submit the following year's budget by early June each year. Jason, we had said they had not given you a time, right? The last couple of years, it's been around the first, second-ish week of June, which if that is the case again this year, we are just going to make the next month's board meeting the budget meeting as well. We'll just we could even do it first before the general meeting.
And as always, as a board, we are conscious about taxes, and we work very diligently to make sure that we don't impact your taxes in a very aggressive manner. So we really refine, and there's a lot of things that we have in this budget that you'll see that are things that we're required to have as backups. And they'll end up falling into what we call surplus, where that money won't be spent. But we work hard to make sure that we're not putting any kind of real serious impacting items. There's no $40,000 for a new lawn equipment that we don't need, or those things. We stay aware so that we don't end up increasing your taxes, because we know, unfortunately, everybody else is increasing your taxes.
Good point, Mr. Vice Chair. Yes. Yes. All right, moving on to official board communications. As always, we would like you to join the email list, but most likely if you're viewing this, you're on it. So there'll be some signs going up again, just telling everyone there's been houses for sale. So there's a good chance over the winter we've gained new residents that we may not even know. Every summer I have people walk down to the beach and say, "What is this?" And then I get a great conversation with them. And it's amazing how many new young families just moved in last year. And they were just walking their baby and they came upon the beach and they didn't even know they bought into a community that had this. And and then they were there like once or twice a week after they ran into me. So, and I know you have all had probably experiences like that too. So, all right, board member, so an email on the 5th of this month, New York State DEC Hudson Estuary Tree and Shrubbery Program. We mentioned it, but if you want to just say it again.
Yep. Trees for tributaries planting is May 31st at 10 o'clock. And I have to do a follow-up email to the Dig Safe.
Oh, 811? 811, yeah.
Even I did a preliminary just to make sure there was nothing there to begin with, but 811, I'll send another communication out around then to all the volunteers.
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
So that's gonna be at 180 Lake Road. If for those who don't know, if they haven't joined or want to join, that will be on the other side, on Lake Road and the
Moral support.
yeah, just if you want to come and cheer us on, you want to come and dig a hole, we'd love to have you. So make a fun event out of it. Try to maybe bring some snacks and beverages and stuff like that. So you can, even if you don't feel like coming, maybe you could come and have a donut.
And watch the trees go in. Reserve 8 is our longest shoreline. I don't know if it's our largest square footage because 5's pretty big, but it's has the most fishable shoreline and boat launching shoreline. On the 6th, which was kind of we revisited, and this is what I had mentioned prior about 15 minutes ago. The BDL RPP, which is the Resident Permit Program and Policies for Motor Vehicles, Trailers, and Boats, the second version, which we approved last year. The board communication highlighted the board's communication for highlighting best practices for residents to protect the lake itself, as well as a revisited email from May of, there it is, 2025. When the board released an update version of the RPP. Some helpful tips are, please never, ever, ever use lawn fertilizers, which will speak to some folks that have been walking around the neighborhood, possibly. You may have people that pay attention to social media. There were some solicitations. Some of the solicitations were for herbicide, pesticides being sprayed, which personally as a resident, I'm against it completely. I don't think anybody should be spraying anything. You're basically killing all the insects you think on your lawn, and then it goes to other people's lawns, and then it kills the bees and the other pollinators, which is a big deal. And you're still probably gonna get bitten by the mosquitoes anyway, because they're just gonna come flying in from other places. So people tend to get sold on spraying, thinking that it's gonna control mosquitoes. It really doesn't. They're kind of taking your money. So that's just my opinion as a resident. So I really don't like it, and I don't know. I don't like to also know that these chemicals are right. I mean, there is a list. You can AI harmful pesticides that harm watersheds, and you will get an amazing list of all these chemicals. You can do it right now, and it will tell you specifically what it kills, how it kills, what frogs die, what salamanders die, also which birds are affected, how it slows down egg production of fowl, waterfowl, all of it. So where you think that you're doing something for your yard, you're really harming the lake. And it's just
Not
again,
cool.
it's not cool, no. And never blow or dump yard waste near drains or near the lake. Clippings also release harmful nutrients that feed algae blooms. Do not remove native shore vegetation, the native shore vegetation we're speaking about. Keep a buffer of shrubs and trees to filter runoff and prevent erosion. This has been talked about so much here with everybody on this board at some point, rather than having a lawn right up to the water. So we're the people that have shoreline, it is really beneficial if you have a nice, even 8 inches, 12 inches of something growing, even if it's just what for the butterflies, what am I thinking of?
Milkweed.
Milkweed or something like that, something just to catch, blow, debris and the rain runoff. Because a lot of our properties are sloped too, so it just travels and it comes down from the street.
Grass, with the grasses going right down, those are also the ones that are fertilizing it too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's very hard to convince folks about it because they just maybe want to see green. Things are pretty green. Things are pretty green. I don't know what level of green we're looking for here, but things are green.
But we want the green in the grass, not
You're
on
making
the
it-
lake.
Yeah. But I like clovers. I like wild basil. I like all that. Some people are spraying for that. And it's just, I guess they have more money than I do. I don't know. Do not wash your pets or cars near storm drains. Soaps and detergents, even biodegradable ones, should not run into the lake. You should wash your car if you can, like on your lawn. It's a better filter, right? Maybe can we pause?
I put it to the cloud. So I'll figure that out.
And we're back. So if there was a glitch, you only saw it here live because Jason's probably just gonna like and fix it, right? Right, Jason?
It's tomorrow's.
It never happened. We see this, it never happened. So anyway, never spray here. This is the punchline. Never spray pesticides or insecticides. Refrain from hiring anyone to spray any harmful chemical on your property. These two run off and harm fish and amphibians. Companies have been soliciting to our neighbors, please turn them away.
Right, so if you
Go
go
ahead.
out, again, Chris, if you go out and you're hiring a landscaper, like I love doing my own lawns. But I know better than to, face my lawn output into the lake. I mean, it might be funny to watch it go in there, but it's not gonna be a good result. But I love to do my own lawn, but many people don't like to do their own landscaping, and the landscaper who's doing multiple places throughout the entire New Windsor or Cornwall area may not understand the ramifications of not following through on these things. So be a steward to the lake, and if you're gonna hire somebody, have a brief conversation with them to explain, hey, I'm lakefront here, or what you do is gonna impact the quality of the water that we have here. Please refrain from blowing debris or leaving extra stuff that's going to trickle down into our watershed and make us additional problem. But that's a conversation as a homeowner that you should have with your direct landscaper.
And should you contact the board if you see someone do that?
I would not contact the board. I would contact.
I was curious who thought yes. I was gonna say you can, I would take that.
Look,
But
if
if
the
you see
answer,
a company doing it, so.
if the answer is like, okay, I see ARC landscaping blowing a bunch of stuff in and I don't feel like going and addressing it, feel free, send something to the board, but you may not get an immediate response because most of us are still working.
That.
So, maybe later on that day, one of us will get the email and reach out to the company respectfully and just explain what we're trying to accomplish here. But don't be too shy to take ownership and take it upon yourself to, be proactive and help out. That's all. I just want to put that forward.
Let me give you an example. We had, on our shorefront, an overabundance, we have a wall and then some aqueous plants that are growing, whether it be burreed or milkweed or cattails. We had right by the wall, a lot of grass and stuff like that. It was just growing out of. We had our landscaper come in and take that out, but literally told them, make sure nothing goes in the lake. That anything has to be picked up and put in a wheelbarrow. So anybody who's involved with this type of thing, yes, keep your shoreline presentable, but make sure if you hire someone, as you just said, that it doesn't go in the lake. Take the personal responsibility.
Lake treatments, lake health and lake treatments. Jason and I will probably speak a little bit about this. On the 4th, I had a conversation with James Gorman, talked about him so many times over the years. He's the Pond and Lake Connection lake applicator. He's the treatment applicator. He said they'd be by soon to assess the situation and to design a plan of attack for potential early season lake treatments. He's also, the board was, I believe I let everyone know that his contract was making the rounds to be final, to be approved. Yeah, he still has, the extension goes until the end of this month.
Okay.
But we'll probably have a treatment in before then, and then it really needs to just be in play for the treatment. If it lags into June, he just can't treat until he's re-upped, but all the permits are in. He was waiting for a receipt of one DEC permit, and he said he'd get back to me shortly in a day or so. When that's finished, but we'll probably get a treatment of some sort, probably a herbicide in before Memorial Day, I would assume. There's a lot of floating mass that are kicking up now. Nice Fola. Jason went to Nice Fola, so did Sparkle.
Sparkle, I went to NISFOLA, that's New York State Federation of Lakes Association. Sparkle had completed her CSLAP training, so she will be joining us during cycling very soon. I made a connection to one of the NISFOLA board members that was working with grad students about quick sample testing. So you can go into the lake, get your phosphorus reading or nitrogen like on the spot rather than having to go send it out to a lab. And basically all they would need is our extra CSLAP sample water. And I'm like, yeah, here's our email. We will be happy to be able to do that.
So if we send them samples?
We would give them our leftover CSLAP.
Which we have tons of.
Yeah, we collect extra water in case can't get enough until.
Where are they located? How do we get it to them? I mean,
They have to email us, so this is still up in the ether.
We would have to mail it.
It would have to be mailed, but they're get grant funding and then they.
So are they looking,
They just need.
They're looking for sales.
So it's free, it'd be free for
It
us.
would be free for us.
Beautiful.
So they just need more samples. They
Yep, they
need
just
more,
need samples.
and it's geographically, they probably want different ones from the state or anywhere.
Grad students. It was,
I mean, water samples from, is it New York State Waters?
I believe it's, I don't,
Like-
Or is it a program through one of the colleges that
it's probably one of the colleges.
Yeah. Because there's some very active colleges up north.
Yeah, Paul Smith.
Yeah.
From
Right.
ESF and, well,
Yeah, this lady also did, the same thing microscope that we did as well.
Yeah.
Should be connected on that.
That's a story in itself.
Yeah.
it is a story.
And I think Mohegan Lake, I think it was Mohegan Lake, Sparkle can
Yes.
correct me if she knows. But they are trying to pass legislation to get alum to be used, because New York State classifies it as a pesticide, but the US DEC does not list it as,
Right.
it's lost in legislation, so
And Connecticut uses it.
yes, so
Yeah.
they're trying to pass legislation that puts Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all use speeding permits, and there's like, just do that.
Right.
So alum might not be a fit for our lake, but it's nice to see that there's some,
Anything that would tie up existing phosphorus, which alum will do.
it's organic phosphorus.
Yes, organic.
Specifically, so we would need to test this,
Well,
the ratios of that, and also that it's just, it's a poofy powder that sits there down at the bottom, so you can't really do it where the boats are going through, because it'll get all stirred up anyway.
Also, it has to lay without being disturbed.
I don't think that this lake lends itself particularly.
Too shallow.
Alum is what they use to purify drinking water.
Right.
So it's pretty well accepted. The treatment, when the alum is useful for a lake that doesn't have watershed issues. So if you have a lake that's been polluted in the past, but it's water, the water that's coming in now is clean,
Yeah.
then the alum essentially, when you treat it, makes almost like a concrete base. It settles it down and takes it out of the system to clean it. But when you have a lake like ours that's continually being inundated, it's not gonna.
It would
I,
help with more with like the internal load than really what's coming in.
I'm just thinking outside of it, could it be used near the dam?
It would
Like,
have to
would
be
it help
used
there?
Why
in
would you
the
put
deep
it by the
sections.
dam?
Maybe I'm just saying because it's so deep. It's so deep, maybe it doesn't
That
get
would be without
disturbed.
any 15 feet down, which isn't too much of the lake anyway.
Yeah, I agree. No, right, like I said. Wondering.
So
I don't
asking.
think there would be any purpose to
Th-
it there.
it'll be a costly solution that probably won't have much benefit.
Yeah,
It could have an impact, but I don't think the costs are worth it.
AJ talked my ear off about 4 years ago all about it, and it was like, well, it's not allowed, so anything I tell you doesn't really matter. So, yeah, I mean, he definitely knows a lot about it. It would be great. Also, there was another, it was Alan. Foslock, that's the other one, which is like a,
Polymer.
One is a one is a, oh, there's two different metals that are involved. One is a lanthanum based and the other is an aluminum base. And it'll affect the pH of the water differently, but Foslock, believe me, I've contacted, the other company about it, is extremely expensive. And has the same problem you were talking about, it takes care of what's there. And it doesn't necessarily associate with what's coming in. So once it locks up, it stays there. But we have a unique problem where everything's coming into the lake.
I think a lot of lakes are facing this, but one of my big conclusions when I came out of the meeting up there, which I thought was really well done and interesting, was that our watershed is as important to our water quality or more than our treatment programs.
There's no
and
doubt
these-
about it.
absolutely, yeah, we know that, yeah.
And so really, I came back with the idea of trying to make a commitment to work with some of these places that need help, you know, with getting the water that they're putting out
Mhm.
better,
Yeah.
so that we're not receiving it in the condition that we are.
Totally agree, yeah, yeah,
So-
it's that, you know, that is the reason why we went after the issue with Brittany Little Britain. Little Britain, and why we initiated doing sampling, just to know what's coming in and how it's coming in and where it's coming in, so we have a good idea of that, it's just been stalled, and that's where we wanna be able to get that. You know, that RFP with the DPW, and that, we talked about that 2 meetings ago. That's just, there's a couple nuances we do need to just discuss. About, so we can send that to procurement, but at the moment, that's still sitting on a desk. But what you're speaking of, that's exactly what we would love, yeah, totally agree. We wanna just keep finding out the sources, you know, and then there's smaller ones. We tested, I don't know if it's that horse farm, but there's a lagoon that's to the south on the other side of 94 that flows in and hits Twin Pond, which is the pond behind Cornwall Social.
Yep.
Which was gonna be the effluent and all that, so when we get rains, we get just as much nitrogen and phosphorus there as we do from Brittany Terrace. The same numbers, like 2,400, 2,500, like off the charts, and E. coli. So
It might not be as much initially, but it's much closer than Brittany. Brittany Terrace has,
oh, it's a
Wetlands
short, yeah, it's a
goes
short reach. That's right.
but it's still matching it, but
Yeah.
that one's right there.
Anything else for nice folder?
Yeah, my next
Yeah.
bullet, I took a class on how to extract the data from the C-SLAP report, so I can get it into Excel and I can start manipulating the data and put it in a little more friendlier presentation than the little scatter graphs that are in the report that aren't too friendly looking.
Mhm.
I've already posted one of these on Facebook for the SECI depth clarity. I've started
Oh, yeah,
posting some of the other graphs, but so pivot graphs are not my specialty. I'm better with pivot tables, but and I'm trying to get data from the weather station. I haven't figured out how to export the data from there, but I did get a printout of the rain by month by year, so I can make a high level comparison rather than if I can get the data from there. We have data, weather data going back from 2015.
Yeah, like, we don't need every specific, yeah, you just want like rain totals in this month or.
Yeah, if I
things
can
like
get
that.
it broken down to
Wind.
weeks, I
Yeah,
can make
temperatures.
parallels to with our samplings.
Mhm. Sure, right, see if there's significance, right?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna ask you to back up just for a minute, because the last thing on that alum is that I do have petitions that the people at Mohegan Lake distributed and asked for people to sign, even though the alum may not be the right solution for our lake, there
Mhm.
are lakes that it could be useful for, and there's not really it's not a pesticide, you know, it's
Yeah,
just
right, they just
because of-
categorize it as such,
Right,
understood,
when we're
yeah.
using it to clean our water, it's not a
Sure.
pesticide. So for us, while it doesn't work, if we would be willing to support the
Sure.
effort to give another lake
I
the
think it
chance
would
to do
benefit the
this.
whole state in general.
So is it New York State
Well,
residents can sign it, or?
Yes, anybody in
I
New
see.
York State.
Okay.
So I don't have copies of it, but here's the
Okay.
information about it and a support letter that they're asking to
Okay,
give to our
Sparkle. All right, great.
political people.
All right, all right, so
So that's-
we'll take a look at it. and
that's
we can-
like the end stop of it. I didn't
Got
want to back you up, but
No, it pertains to the situation, and
yeah.
to be honest, like I think I said in prior meetings, there's seasonal things we discuss. So we're still in the spring, everything's going, green and so these are topics that we'll talk maybe about one more time, and then we'll probably talk about them again in like September, October, and then I'm starting to see cycles. Certain things may get brought up if we have something big to announce or to do, but this is the time. So anything you've said is totally like.
On
Perfect.
point.
On
Good
point,
job.
exactly. All right, I think we're already down to community events, and then we'll do resident forum, and do we have more people online tonight?
there was probably, I think 14
Yeah.
people.
Maybe we should wait to announce the meeting at the last 30, like 6 hours before, then, because we get more people.
So, community events, we don't have a lot to report in the way of community events, but we do still have our book club running the third Thursday of every month. It's normally around 7 p.m. And we do hold it most of the time here at the building. It's spearheaded by a couple of volunteers. Right now, Patty, who was doing it, she's kind of transferring around a little bit of responsibilities, but we're facilitating it here unless one of the people in the book clubs decides to have it at their house, at which point then we don't have to open the building, and that's completely fine with me. We did have the Earth Day cleanup, although it wasn't on Earth Day, it was on 4/15 tax day.
My birthday,
Nice.
so I'd say that.
We had Jason Silver come with the Cub Scout Troop 4028 from New Windsor. It was a massive amount of Cub Scouts came out. We gave them pickers and some bags and gloves. And went out and picked up a bunch of trash, and we brought it back to the Reserve 4, and the New Windsor Sanitation Department came and whisked it away. So thank you to them. Thank you to my one volunteer who came out, and then one resident volunteer. I didn't realize it was a oddball evening, but it was the night that the Cub Scouts could do it.
Yeah.
And they earn a badge and it helps us and it's a great support. I did go out and do my own pick from reserve number 6 all the way around the corner to reserve 7. Got about a nice, good.
That's a good area, that S turn, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
people stuff
I mean,
out things out the
I'll be
window.
honest with you. I got paid for that. All right? What do you mean, Larry? You got paid? All the recyclables, man, I filled up the whole bag, you know?
That is the Friday,
I got
Saturday
paid
night
$3.
checkout. You're right.
You know, so I'm just happy to do that.
Yeah.
So currently, we don't really have any events in the hopper. We have a whole bunch of ideas floating around out there. But please remember, if you have an idea, you want to do something, we need you to fill out a building request form. If you're gonna need use of the facilities, we are required to submit this after we, as a board, review what you intend to do, how you intend to use the building. We'll take a look at that, be sure it checks off all the boxes. And then we have to send that along for liability purposes to the DPW because this is technically their building. So sometimes we don't have enough time because we ask for 1 month in advance, but if something comes up last minute, ask, we'll get you the form and we can try to expedite things in order to help to, run an important community event if that pops up. If you want me to wait, go ahead,
Jason.
Beach cleanup.
Yeah.
Oh, do we need a beach cleanup this year? I noticed
Yeah.
that there really isn't much grass we need to pull up, so we need to line the beach with the stones.
I will play by ear. I mean, I think
Do we need to
raking has to get done. You wanna rake everything. You wanna make sure nothing foreign showed up. You wanna make sure no fishing lures showed up, because
Yeah.
that's found, we don't get a permit.
does the water need to be raked up?
Yeah, all of that. Yeah, so historically, like, quick history, my very first Beaver Dam Lake, anything, was like as a resident, I think 7 years ago, and Fred was the head of you had the list.
Right.
And then we just, residents came down and
Yeah, Larry was there also for
Yeah.
that, yeah.
yeah, and I remember people in the water up to their thighs with the rakes and pulling, finding things, and hey, I found a pair of goggles from last year. Like, we need everything out, like, we really, for safety reasons, want to make sure that the sand that goes into the water is also free of anything that could cut somebody.
Mhm.
So it's not just weeds, we having human power to just calm the place, just to pick things that we just normally would.
That's the beach day.
Bottle caps, things from 40 years ago are out there. We still find glass. I find glass where I live,
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
so as we approach the
It's crazy.
an expected announced beach date when we'll open, then we'll work on trying to put together a volunteer effort to pick the weeds and rake the lake and all of that stuff.
Yep.
So currently, we don't have a date for that, but since we're looking at Memorial Day, so this could be only a week or two away.
Right.
We also have the yard sale, by the way, the community yard sale. It's being organized by Chrissy Wilger. I don't recall the date, I'm sorry.
June
June 6th, okay, it's changed a few times for a variety of reasons. But this is not, again, a board sponsored event,
Big
but
80.
it's a community event that people are looking for. Chrissy Wilger is your point of contact on Facebook. If you can't find her or don't know how, email the board and I will get you in touch with the right stream so that you can get involved and get on any maps should it be made. And that is usually a fun event for those who love it. For those who don't, it's not our favorite. But if you want to get involved, I have a bunch of people I know who are actively ready to put their debris out on the
I've
street.
got a whole pile all ready and waiting.
I don't know how you're gonna do it down there, but it'll be interesting.
Well, the bold will come and find
I'll-
wonderful bargains at
I'm
my
not
house.
saying you.
Good to know. I could phone over.
Okay, yes, there you
That's
go.
another thing. You can pull right up.
Chris, you want me to
Take it right
show
to.
residents or keep on going with what I got going? And I got a bunch of things here.
Yeah, well, I would like to give Virginia, do you have anything that you want to speak on? You don't have to, I can put you on the spot, so let me ask you.
No, I mean, basically, on the 22nd, I did attend the RAB
Oh, yep,
meeting and,
Stuart.
some of the remediation plans have been basically sidelined. They're trying to get an easement on a particular property so they could actually do the trenching and connect it with the pipe so that they could actually work on filtering. So that's the only thing they have.
Oh, thank you. That's, it's good you mentioned that, because we haven't brought that up in probably, I don't think, a year and a half or so. That's a quarterly board meeting. I think there's members of, well, the Air National Guard, the towns, the counties. It's a fairly large board, is it not? And they've been trying for years to figure out how they're going to, well, first locate the PFAS water in the aquifer, and should we pump it up? Should we not? Can we treat it? Well, there's a plan at this point,
Right.
a preliminary plan of some
I
sort.
guess during the winter, I think was it correct, it was Washington Lake, they actually had this floating device where they were actually filtering
Oh,
water,
Oh.
but then unfortunately, what happened is that because of the
Ice.
water levels,
oh,
they it wasn't as efficient as they were hoping for, so they're gonna make some adjustment, but the next meeting is July 22nd.
is it still at the Armory?
Yes, there was some discussion in changing location, and that's just something to, if I get anything. I'll let you know.
And I know they have like a Zoom for it,
Yes, they
but I
do.
think you have to email them and then they'll give you the link. It's not like, I mean, anybody can do it, but I think you have to contact them first to register. It's one of those. I attended one and it's very dry, to be honest, it's
I
very
have a
dry.
hard copy, I don't know if you
Yeah.
have any hard copy, just leave it with you. At least you have it, and there are links that you could actually.
I'll let you know, that's a good point. There's links, yeah, there's probably fresh links in it.
I'm sure there's a lot of historical links, so that's all I basically.
Nope, that was, all right, that was great. Ms. Edelson?
No comment, thank you for your service.
All right, thank you.
I have one.
All right, so on to the boards.
Go ahead, Fred.
We will be having an in-person permit session on Wednesday, the 27th of this month of May, from 6 until 7:30. Many of you have heard of us doing this before, and there's been a lot of requests to do it again. So if you come to, there will be applications here, or you can get an application on the website. But I want to reinforce two things. One, that, you mean the blue sticker?
I just wanted you to mention what it was that.
Oh, yes,
everybody was
the new
getting.
stick, the new blue sticker.
Yeah.
That if you have the old yellow or orange one, it's no longer effective, no longer will gonna be allowed. But one thing regarding boats that we've been negligent on in the past, that we're going to start enforcing, is that anybody applying for a boat permit will have to include the hull number of that boat on the application. Because there's been instances in the past of stickers falling off, or boats without stickers that cannot be identified. So this is another possibility to identify various boats by means of their hull sticker, their hull numbers. So please, anybody who has a boat and they decide they want a sticker, which you have to do if you want it on Beaver Dam Lake, to look at the side of the boat. Generally, it's on the upper end of the craft, and there will be a multi-digit number, registration number, that should be on the application. And the other thing is that for vehicles, and I say this every year, do not forget a copy or to have your registration, your DMV registration. We cannot issue a permit without identification that vehicle is actually part of your residency of the lake. So the two things, the boat identification number and car registrations on May 27th, 6 to 7:30.
So Diane has confirmed, Fred, that
Oh.
he is available to
Outstanding.
help, and hopefully we'll
Outstanding.
have Sparkle. And then, of course, your wife Molly, who's helped out every time, and I'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
there. So we'll have a big team of people. Fred, I'll put an email together and send out the
Thank you.
inclusive needs of the whole number and the usual thing, documents that should be here in order to expedite and make it go smoothly. So I'll
And I
send that out
assume
soon.
That we're, everything, the printer and everything's working properly, because I'll have to make up a lot of applications.
Just used it, I had to restart it, but it's working.
It's
Okay.
okay.
A suggestion for succession, can we involve another board member possibly? It's a very exclusive group.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Sparkle's gonna be
Okay.
involved.
Okay, good.
And IX also have whole numbers.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and maybe something that's also forgotten is that the only way the police will even really lift a finger to find your lost boat is if it's been registered with the Department of Motor Vehicles. You're actually supposed to register your boat with the DMV, because then it comes up quickly on their system. And then they can track it down, and you find it on Lake Mayapack or Greenwood Lake, wherever it's been taken to use. It's happened, and a lot of times police officers will say, well, is it registered? If it's not, very, very hard for them to try to find it.
Trust me, I'd like to have as many people on the board or even non on the board
To help.
involved with permits,
Okay, yeah.
because who knows what happens and all of a sudden I can't do it,
That's
or Larry
exactly-
can't do it, or
absolutely.
something like that.
Yep, that was my thought.
So I have about 5 or 6 quick things to cover. And they're all non-related, so just pay attention because it'll be quick. Cornwall social work has been in progress, slower than expected. We don't have a lot of further updates other than I've heard that they are planning to open sometime in August. What does that mean? I don't know. Did reach out or have our ex-chair reach out to the family who is running this whole operation. I did not get a reply, so I can't give you any further detail other than what town supervisor had given to me based on my request. Bids for I&I, that's the inflow and infiltration for the BDL Cornwall and New Windsor sewer expansion. There are submissions out, and the award was, the bid was won by Arroll Construction. This is supposed to be starting within the next month or two. Tim McCarty let me know about that.
This is the Long Shore Drive.
Right. So this is just a quick update. I don't have exact details, but there is a bid that has been put in and won, so that. Doing this. On another non-related thing, USDA Goose Patrol. I've been spearheading that with Tyler from the
They were there today.
They've been here.
Oh, they
You
came
got
back
it, Fred.
again?
Yeah, they
So-
were today.
Tyler isn't our representative anymore, but I was put in touch with Mitchell, who will be taking over for Tyler. Mitchell will be also using the same tech that Tyler had been using, so he's familiar with our lake. They've had a very, very successful campaign over the last number of years to cut down the amount of Canadian geese to an extremely acceptable level. Why do we do this? There's a variety of reasons that we're happy about it, but it's done for Stewart Airport safety to prevent bird strikes to airports. So
So the FAA funds it. Yeah.
right, so it costs nothing for us, but it's best to have some active engagement, which I've been actively engaged. So currently, the point of approach was really just to go after some of the nests and treat the nests, which has been very successful versus having to round up mature or immature birds and remove them from the area. They are extremely happy with the progress, and they report that they believe they won't have to do anything else for the rest of the year for us. They were due to come out this week for our final. They came twice already. I didn't know. Fred saw them come for their third stop. I don't expect to see them again unless maybe I have to call in a report where somebody says, hey, we've got 40 geese on my lawn. They flew in. I don't know what they'll do with that, but it's still in progress. It's also noted there's no intention to touch the swans. So there's no management in place for our swan nests, just for those who are really concerned about that. As Fred mentioned, we'll be doing an in-person permit event. That will be on Wednesday evening, the 27th, from 6 to 7:30. Fred covered that. And one thing that it's gonna sound ridiculous, and it's not on anything, well, dogs. All right, I don't have a dog. I love dogs, but I have a number of neighbors and friends who have been attacked by dogs who are not on leash. This is a problem. My neighbor was
Right here.
attacked yesterday, and this happens all the time. And while the people who are on here on this call right now are probably not the people who are not gonna be responsible for their pets, if you see your neighbor's pets running around, whatever it is, and it's gonna be a danger to the community, then take some action. Call the animal control officer, warn your neighbors, say, look, I mean, I care about you, I care about your pet Fifi, but you know, we're seeing a lot of damage here. I know it sounds ridiculous. I'm telling you, people reach out to me. Yesterday, my neighbor was attacked by a dog. She's on the ground. Her dog was bitten. You know, like, it's crazy. So please, if you own an animal, please take control. Be a responsible pet owner. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you very much.
And they go on a list, and if they do it again, then it's all gets.
Yeah, I was getting signatures to be on this board and I had a nice chunk taken out of my tricep and my expensive sweater was ruined. And so, yeah, it does happen.
There are leash laws in all three of our communities.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I was on their property getting the signature, so, but the police department still went and visited.
But there are leash laws.
There are,
In
yeah.
all three towns.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
yes, we have anything else? Trying to keep this
Just
short. Yeah, go ahead.
I would tell you that, from working with trees for trips and getting ready for,
The planting.
Reserve 8, I got a little enthusiastic, so I went and, did some hiking and collected a bunch of different, plants that do well near water, and I've heard people like, that have like culverts that run through their property or something like that. And just
Yeah.
as I can get these plants better, like right now I have a bunch of horseradish, which
Cool.
is, you can just stick a plant in there, and if you ever want horseradish, you can go get it.
That's a
But-
rhizome, right? It just keeps going.
Well, it's
like a
a
root.
taproot.
It looks like a turnip.
Yeah, but it connects, right? Like just goes all.
But I have that now. I have, at least half a dozen of the DeRozier dogwoods. I have a lot of different ones. So some of them I'm trying to use to save for Reserve 1, where we're looking at doing some kind of a step into the lake fishing thing, but not as big as, you know, trees for trips with the
Mhm.
density, but I'll be trying to keep them alive as the summer goes on, and if people need trees or culverts or they're probably best, well,
Contact the board, we'll put them in touch with you, that kind of thing? or-
yeah, they need to grow. I bought
I
a
see.
bunch from DEC
I see.
and they're not very big, they're rooted, but and then I bought a lot of dirt
Okay.
so that I can try and
Yeah,
root
sure.
them.
Yeah. See,
So,
yeah.
because our dirt is not conducive to things growing, actually, so it's gonna be in progress, but I am, like, if somebody wants to put stuff that's good for us in a culvert, I would be happy to talk to them, how's it?
Fantastic. That's great. No, thank you, Sparkle. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the cool things about, anybody that's gonna be on this board is already probably a good steward of the area and the lake itself, and I'm sure you're proving that. All right, with that, we'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Do we have any people out in?
No,
Computer
we can't do that.
land,
I
any
didn't see,
questions?
I didn't see any. Oh, there are some. Okay, sorry, I looked and I didn't see any.
Yes, we answered most of them. One was about the yard sale, and other were just comments, but if anybody have any questions they would like to bring up in chat or to unmute.
Yeah, that's true. We're not used to people speaking.
Hmm.
It happens like once a year.
Not used to people being here.
And it's usually the same folks.
So we're good.
All right,
Okay.
All right, I'll redo that motion.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is closed. Thank you, everybody. See you at June 8th. Yes? Yes, is it June 8th?
Sounds right.
Sounds right? Second Tuesday of June. I think it's June 8th. Somebody has a calendar. It's a little interesting. Hey, cliffhanger end of a meeting.
June
June
8th,
eighth.
Hey.
June,
Ah,
no,
June
it'd
10th.
be Wednesday. It could be-
June 10th. You got the correct right year?
Trust
No, I'm
me.
kidding.
What time?
Trust
So
me.
it's June 10th. We'll see you all June 10th. Thank you.
Mm.